Last video I told you I was getting ready to install a shed, and this video is just about starting to prep the base for it and show a little bit about how a plate tamper works. So first thing I did is I had to get a building permit because it was over 144 square feet, which our town requires. So I got that, and then I kind of marked out the area where I want it. It's kind of on the side of a hill, so I'm going to have to do some building up for it. But first thing is to rip out all the topsoil. So I have the those ripper blades down on the box blade there to just kind of break it up so it's easier to deal with. And I'm going to just tear that up first and try to get all the topsoil out, so I've got a pretty decent base to go on. Now the big problem is we've had nothing but rain the last couple of weeks, and everything is total mud and just a mess when you drive the tractor on it and stuff. So this is not going to be fun to deal with, but I just wanted to do a quick video on it and just show you what it takes to get ready for a shed. So once I got the topsoil all ripped up there, I'm just going to take and push it all out of the way over on the side, because I'll be using it for grading off this area later again. And pretty much, as you can see, everything's pretty sloppy, wet, and messy right now, but this is a start. And it turned out our weather didn't change any for the next 2 weeks after I started here. Nothing but rain. And a quick look at from inside the cab there. You can see this tractor does a really nice job, and it's been so nice having the cab when it's raining out. I can turn on the heat and close the doors, and nice environment to work in. So, it has turned out to be a great choice, I think, for a tractor. So, as I'm showing you, the first thing to do is to just get the topsoil out of the way. And, it really would be nice if it was a little bit drier to deal with this. And once you pull up those scarfers on the box blade, it really does help for leveling too. So that's pretty much ready to go, you can see. And I ordered a 15-ton truckload of a 0 to 1 gravel, they call it. It's the cheapest thing you can get that'll pack down pretty good and work for a base. All the crushed stone around here is $55 a ton, and this is about $13. So big difference. And I've used it in my pole barn, so it does work good. So now it's time to start moving it over. Big problem is the ground is too wet to use the tractor, so I've got to use the slow poke there, the RTV, and that does not hold a whole heck of a lot. Plus my bucket's a lot wider than it, so it's a fun job just trying to get it full. Turns out in the end that it will only carry about the equivalent of a half a bucket from the tractor, so trying to load it and not make too much of a mess and stuff and not damage it too much. I go pretty careful here. I was surprised. I thought it would carry more. I think that the old Sidekick had a much higher load capacity, because actually that little bit there, you can see it going down, and then I'll just throw another quarter of a bucket in there, another corner of it, and you'll see that that's about the max. So again, it's it's still raining out, and having that cab on the tractor really is nice. And this stuff is really soaked and heavy too. So get the slow poke all loaded up and ready to go around the back. So it's going to be a time-consuming job, just bringing one load around and dumping it, and spreading it out. So it's going to take quite a few loads, because I think this thing will only hold about 800 pounds, to tell you the truth. And again, you can see everything mud and rain. I am throwing some rocks down to mix in with it too, down in the deeper part where I have to fill in probably over a foot, you can see. So pretty much it turned into, this start here was just back and forth, filling it a couple times, and here's another view of, from the loader. You can see it really can't take that much, but it's the easiest way right now not to completely damage the lawn from all the rain that we've had. My wife was laughing at me. She said it looked like I was on Gold Rush filling up the gold things. But, it sure beats a wheelbarrow, that's all I'm going to say. And if it was actually drier out and I could have backed that truck across the front lawn, I would have, just had it dumped right over in that area. But that's not an option now when you got a truck that weighs 20 tons with another 20 tons of gravel in it. So that thing would have sunk a foot in the ground. There you can see it's you can just see slowpoke there going down a little bit. I think they say it's about 1,000 pound capacity, and I think that's right on. It was just that little little half bucket there has got it bottomed out pretty much. Anyhow, now that I bored you all to death showing you equipment videos, time to make another trip around. And you can see it finally stopped raining for a couple of minutes. The sun's shining again, and everything back here is mushy, so I'm just trying to take a different path every time I go with the tires, just to eliminate any deep ruts. So, what I'm trying to do now is to get about a 3 to 4 inch layer of this on to start with. I'll be compacting it down. I'll show you the compactor in a little while. But when you get a compactor, since it's a 12-inch depth, you usually want to try to go about a third of that every layer that you compact. So, it's 3 to 4 inches here on the compactor that I'm going to be getting. And it was raining hard the next day, so I did run down to Harbor Freight and grabbed one of their 7 horsepower plate compactors. I thought about renting one, but I've got like 3 different projects going on now, and I'm going to need it several times. And by the time you run back and forth and pay for the rental, this turned out cheaper. Plus, it can be sold in the end. So, this is what it looks like. Comes in a cardboard box. Got 2 metal frames strapped on with tie wraps on each side. Extra belts, an extra air filter, and set of wheels that goes on it. Really pretty simple. Only damage was one of those scratching the paint up on the top there from where they had laid that part on it. But everything is in good shape, good looking, and I went with the Harbor Freight one because I really like these Predator engines. They run forever and never have problems, and they start easy. So, and all it is, it's a vibrator, it's an off-center vibrator under there with some rubber isolators just to allow the plate to move while the motor assembly doesn't bounce too bad. So luckily my RTV lines up with the tailgate on my truck, so I slid it in the RTV and took it down to prep it, to put it to work. Start by putting oil in it. Here's some of my cast oil from the 1970s. I paid $0.25 a quart for that. I'm running out of now, but I've been using that stuff for years with all these small engines and stuff. And then the vibrator assembly down there, they don't say anything about putting oil in it, but I looked on some YouTube videos and I saw they said you should put some 1030 in it. So I used the rest of that quart in there. And they do have a high altitude jet kit too. So that's all prepped, ready to go. Now this is a bad day to try it because it's raining out. Everything is soaked in. I'll show you, what happens because of that. But first thing is to get it out of the slowpoke. And I took that pickup truck crane that I got a while back. I used for my Ranger, and it fits on this too. If you got to get something heavy out of there. This compactor, I think it weighs a little bit over 200 pounds, so it's definitely a 2 to 3 person lift to get it down. And I just had to get it out of here, and I didn't feel like moving the tractor over at this point. So I'm just going to let it down slow, and like I said before, you can see it's still raining. Actually, the last 24 hours, we've gotten another 2 inches of rain, too. So it's been crazy here. So that got it down safely. Nobody got hurt. Let's get that out of the way. And next thing is try to start it up, see what happens. Now, I put gas in it, and I put oil in it. It's been sitting for a while. And let's... These Predator engines are unbelievable. That thing started the first pull. That's pretty amazing. So now I'm going to try to compact, and actually you can see it makes it like concrete, but the problem is it's just too wet to compact really. So I did run into some problems with the real fine stuff pushing up through the mixture here and building up on the plate of the compactor. That caused me issues with slowing it down and build up on the bottom, just making it really tough to move and push. But basically it does a fantastic job. Works good. It's a compactor and it does do a good job, but I really just, I'm going to use it for a little while today just to show you, and then I'll do another video update when it's drier, if it ever dries up, doing the final build up and stuff. Because on this area here, I do have to build up over a foot down on the bottom side there. You can see I'm on a slope. So I'm starting out just with like a 4-inch layer on everything. And one thing too about this compactor, and all compactors like this, is they don't have the rounded plate. The ones that I have used in the past have like a stamped plate, rounded edges, and it makes it real easy, even in the soft stuff like this, to make turns and come out nice, smooth, and level looking. Where this one actually leaves some ridges and stuff, just because it's a square corner and it catches when you turn, until things get really, packed down and hard. But I just thought I'd show you. And if you're doing a small area, that really makes it easier to turn and move around and stuff, where this one is really more suited to a larger area. But anyhow, I just kept going 3 to 4 inches at a time, in the different areas. I'm trying to build up the bottom and some. And again, it works good. Really does a nice job. Actually, if it wasn't wet, it would do a nicer job. So I just wanted to show you this. And this is going to take me a while, especially with the wet and stuff. So I'm not going to, do too much more here today. But I just wanted to show you that it does work nice, and it does pack it like concrete. And Kiwi's protecting me from it. She's not really happy. She doesn't know quite what it is. She's never seen it before, and she's gonna sit there and watch me for a while, and then get bored and walked away. But anyhow, I just figured I wanted to show you that I have started on the base for the shed, and I will do another video once it dries out and I get everything built up to the proper level and stuff. So it does take some work to, you know, to get ready and prepare for a shed if you don't have a real flat surface to put it on. And if you got wet conditions like this, it takes a long time just to move the material. And if you're, you know, in a section of the lawn that's kind of buried, you know, behind the wet area. So you can see sometimes that buildup on the bottom does cause it to stop moving, and you have to, you know, yank it around by hand and turn it, or just take it and tip it up and scrape it off. But you know, that's the thing. These things are really made to use in drier conditions or with, you know, bigger stones. So that's what I'm running into. Anyhow, I'll do an update later. I'm gonna put this away for now. Not worth messing with it anymore today, but it does do a good job, and you know, this is what it looks like so far. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.